What's going on, Chicago Tough sports fans? I'm here with Scott and Hitman. And what's up, guys?
Hello.
Smile.
Hi.
There
Bear down, Chicago Bears.
you go. That says it all.
I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
That's okay. You don't need to.
You gotta do like on the score. He starts playing the little flute.
Yeah. I have a recorder. I can learn it.
Oh, please go get that now.
I don't know what.
Well, if you didn't figure out, we're going to be doing our Week 3 Bears versus Browns review, and then a little preview of Bears. They're playing the Lions, right? Bears versus Lions. Yep. Now, before we get going, when we do these videos, I try and put some legitimate input. I try to be as knowledgeable as I can. But I feel tonight I have no right saying too much about this Bears team after watching my goddamn team play last night, the Eagles. After watching them play the Cowboys, I really have no right saying too much in this podcast tonight.
No, you do.
No,
you
I don't.
Absolutely do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, you do.
No.
I'm going to tell you why. How many points did the Eagles put up last night?
Huh?
How many points did the Eagles put up last night? I don't care if it was garbage time.
I think 21.
That means you have more than any justification to talk shit about the Bears. Go right ahead.
Nope, I won't do it. Reason number one, I will get my ass kicked at work. And reason number two, the Eagles suck just as much as the Bears do. Now, let me say a few things. I'll say them in form of questions. You can answer them later. How come Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace still have jobs? Why the hell wasn't Jason Peters pulled? And why does that offensive line suck so much? Those are my questions. You guys can answer them whenever you want in the video. And like I said to you, Scott, I don't know if I text all of you guys. I don't know who calls worse offensive plays, Matt Nagy or the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Matt Nagy.
Right now it's Matt Nagy.
Oh.
That answer is 100% Matt Nagy.
And I'm serious with that question. You know, I asked someone that at work today, and they're like, "Oh, shut the fuck up! You know, your team won a Super Bowl." I'm being serious. That play calling was just as bad, in my opinion. I mean, it was really
no. That's not even. There's nothing as bad as what the Bears did. That's not even close. It's not even. Yeah. It's...
All right. Well, like I said, this is mainly 90% going to be you guys. So, Scott, you have every right. You have every right to talk shit. Your team's 3-0. So.
Yeah, but I mean that's not. Yeah, I mean that I don't. One has nothing to do with the other. I don't think, but yeah, it's with the Bears. I don't know. I was thinking about how to say this all day. Like, it's incompetence at like the highest level. Like, it's embarrassing.
Yep. This
is a storied franchise, and just what I saw last week. I mean, I'm sure all Bear fans feel the same way. It's unacceptable. It's embarrassing, and I mean. I know the easy answer is to fire Matt Nagy. I get it. I want him fired. I don't think he's a head coach in the league. He might not even be an offensive coordinator. Yeah, I mean, he can't be an offensive guru and then put out that performance last week. That's not what a guru does. So, I mean, I just think that he came from, he lucked out, you know, hanging on to the Andy Reid tree branches, whatever you call it. And, yeah, it's unacceptable. I don't think Justin Fields is if he's gonna sit the rest of the season, he's gonna sit and watch two mediocre quarterbacks run a horrible offense. So what is he really learning?
Yeah, I heard Matt Nagy say that all three quarterbacks are on the table to start on Sunday.
It's just that. It's dumb. This whole thing, the whole debate about before the season started was, you know, should Fields sit? Should Andy Dalton play? I mean, what is Justin Fields going to learn with a clipboard on the sidelines watching this offense run?
Yep.
I mean, maybe it'll run a little more smoothly. It might have run a little more smoothly with Andy Dalton just because he's experienced. He's a veteran. Maybe there would have been more production last week, but I mean, I don't blame Justin Fields one bit. No. He didn't look good, but I mean, he wasn't put in a position to look good. So, I mean, I don't put that on the kid at all. So
when I watched the replays or the replay of the game, like you said, maybe 2 or 3 plays you could blame him. He should have got rid of the ball, but rookie mistakes. It's acceptable. He's a rookie, and look who's calling his plays. Look who's teaching him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to do more harm than good to have this guy in control of his, immediate future. I mean, it's not going to. This has been a trend since 2 years now, Hitman? 2 years this offense has struggled?
Since the last half of 2018.
Right. So,
half of 2018.
What makes anybody think that it's going to get better? I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is an answer. I just don't know it. So with the offensive line, Tony, you said, Peters is old. I mean, he shouldn't. I mean, he's just filling in a spot. He, made a bunch of mistakes. And why don't they replace him? Because they probably don't have anybody better. I don't know. Hitman will probably know more about the depth chart than I do. But I'm just assuming he's the best of what they have currently. So
he's going to get.
I don't see it.
Fields killed.
That's
killed.
Yeah, that's all that's pretty much it for those questions. Hitman, I'm sure you have a lot to say.
Yes.
Where do you want me to start?
Where do you start? 26-6, sacked 9 times. I think 4 came from the blind side. Jason Peters. I don't know. Where do you want to start?
Here, let me say this. It's been a really long time, about 7 years to be exact, since I've been thoroughly pissed off after watching a Bears game. Like, I try not to be pissed off after any game whatsoever because it's a game. It's like I have, outside of being a fan, I have no vested interest, unless I'm gambling, which I don't.
You can't get pissed off. You're the Colton guy. You can't get pissed off. Well, you got to set me and Tony down.
Yeah.
Well, this is why this is unique because
right.
Because I'm thoroughly upset. For me, it's one of those where I don't mind losses. Don't be incompetent. And that's with anything. Just don't be incompetent. Yep. And what we've seen out of Matt Nagy, out of this organization in general, is incompetence. And it's been incompetent for the past 36 years, like I mentioned last week. My issues with Matt Nagy stem from the fact that there is no sense of imagination. There is no sense of direction. There is no sense of anything that he wants to do to make this team better. We often complain about athletes being selfish, which, as fans, we do complain about that, and I see that. But we now see a head coach who is selfish, who is unwilling to tailor his offense around the talent he has. And let's be honest. Let's truly be honest about this. It's not like this Bears offense has no talent.
They have lots of talent.
David Montgomery is a talent. Allen Robinson is a top 15 wide receiver in this league. Darnell Mooney is pretty good. Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, say what you want about them. They can do some stuff. They can do some stuff. All right? Tailor your offense around those guys. Not once did we. Well, let me take that back. At one time we saw a rollout, but there was no imagination. They were blocking 5-on-5. the old school rule is if you can't block it, screen it. How many screens did we see Sunday? Zero.
Nope.
Zero. You saw no screens whatsoever. You have two defensive ends coming to basically put their nuts on top of Justin Fields' head, which they did 9 times. Which they did. That's exactly what happened. And not once did we see them chip. Not once did we see Max protect. We didn't see any of that because Matt Nagy is selfish.
Yep.
Because he wants to make sure his offense works. Which leads me to my next point. If I was Ryan Pace after that performance, I'm doing everything that I can to save my job. Basically, what I am doing, if I'm Ryan Pace, I'm going to the McCaskies to say, hey, look, I'm doing all I can. I drafted Justin Fields. This team does have some talent. I have a head coach who can adapt to the talent. So Ryan Pace should have went to Matt Nagy's office and gave him an ultimatum. Either you give up play calls or you're done. That's basically what should have happened. I don't know if it did. I don't have inside information. But that's what I would have done if I was Ryan Pace. He has to do whatever he can to save his job, and that means you throw him under the bus, you backstab him, you do whatever. Because right now he's in survivor mode. That's where he is right now. I go back to what you said, Scotty, about Justin Fields. Yeah, there was some throws that I thought that, okay, he missed. But just like you said, those are rookie mistakes. Those are things that we want to see.
Yep.
How
does he bounce back now? How does he bounce back?
We want to see him, let me take that back. We don't want to see the 4 interception game. No. But we know by him being a rookie, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
But we couldn't see that because he was constantly on his back all day because there was no adjustment. As far
with
as
nuts on his face.
Absolutely. Look, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if Justin Fields showed up on the injury report with second mouth disease. And that's and I'm being funny, but I mean that's right. But
what's that wrestling move you say? The flying what?
Oh, the running dick in the mouth. The mankind one.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I mean, there was nothing as far as the offensive line is concerned. Look, this offensive line should be better, particularly within the interior 3. But I'm starting to have doubts about Sam Musafir at center. I don't think he's any good anymore. I don't. As far as those tackles, Jermaine Ifedi had a good year, but Tony, Jason Peters, there was one sack where he literally was rolling on the ground like a little pig or a big pig, trying to block. I can't remember if it was Gary or Clowney. He literally rolling on the ground trying to block him.
Dude, when did they sign him? In February or March?
2 weeks. Who? Jason Peters? No, yeah. It was 2 weeks before the season started.
Was it that?
It was 2 weeks before the season started. 2 weeks before the season started.
I remember texting you specifically, Hitman, saying that is a terrible, terrible signing. Why would they sign Jason Peters after drafting a quarterback in the first round, a good quarterback in the first round? That on the offensive line, I hear what you're saying about the center. The tackles are the most important position on the offensive line, especially your blind side tackle.
I agree with you.
The dude is 39 years old with 2 bum knees.
My theory behind that is, and this goes back to play calling, you can help that out. You can. You can scheme that. You can cover that.
I don't even think would help that he's any good.
No, That I disagree with. I think if you actually scheme it up, instead of having one-on-one, if you actually have a tight end on that side or a running back on that side to help chip block and also get the ball out of his hands a little more quicker, instead of doing 7, 8, 9, 10-step drops, you might be a little bit better.
If a big man like Jason Peters can't control Myles Garrett, there's no help. Especially if Jason Peters has two bummies. Dude, I watched this guy for
sure.
And towards the end of that Eagles career, it was shit, man. That year they won the Super Bowl, he went down before Wentz. I think he went down in like week 4 or 5, if I recall correctly.
Right.
And then he came back last year, or I think the year after. He played 2 games. He's out again.
Right.
The dude hasn't played a complete season, and I don't know how long. And the Bears signed him after drafting a quarterback in the first round.
Part of the reason why they signed him because he was the best that was out there at the time.
They should have just kept what they had.
They had nothing.
Or moved something.
They had nothing. Here's why they had nothing. Their first round pick, Tevin Jenkins, is out for at least the first 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now, if they were going to start their 5th round pick, which was Larry Borum, you still had no help because now Larry Borum is out for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks with an ankle injury. So you still back where you from square one. You have no tackles. But I go back to my original point. You still can scheme this. And that's where my issues with Matt Nagy come in at. He's getting his ass kicked play calling wise. Dude, I watched a lot of football over the weekend, and I saw, shout out to my nephews for playing hard. My 6th grade nephews team got their ass kicked 44-12. I saw more offensive imagination in that game than the whole Bears game on Sunday.
I believe it.
Seriously. And that's a problem. This guy, this fraud, Scotty, I don't know if you remember me asking like our very first show when I wanted to know what was said in that interview between Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace regarding Mitchell Trubisky. I'm starting to ask the other way. What did Ryan Pace convey to what did Matt Nagy convey to Ryan Pace to have him get the job? Because it's clear that he's not the guy. He's not the guy. And if you go back to his quarterbacks that he's had since he's been here, whether it was Trubisky, whether it was Foles, Chase Daniel, Andy Dalton, and now Justin Fields. That's 5 quarterbacks since Matt Nagy's been here over the past 4 years. It's not the quarterback. It's not. And I'm actually starting to think that, you know what? Trubisky may not be number 2 overall picker, worthy, but he's an NFL, starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah, he's the one that's laughing right now. He's the one that, he's out of that. He's with Buffalo, yeah. So I know he's a backup, but.
And then you got Nick Foles on the sideline basically saying, "Yeah, this offense isn't working."
Yeah, he's just kicking back.
Your handpicked guy, the guy that you had to have to run your scheme, is basically telling you your shit don't work.
He said that when he played, didn't he? He said it won't work if you can't block it. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
This is bad. This is, and I don't know the answer. I don't know who, I don't know who to hire. I don't know. I know who to fire, but I don't know who to hire. But now let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this. Does he survive if they lose to Detroit this weekend?
You want the fan answer or do you want the reality answer?
Yeah, right. I know the reality answer. I wish it wasn't true.
If it's the fan answer, no. No. But if it's reality,
he's there.
He gets there. He sits there until the end of the year.
We should have got an alert on our phone Sunday night by the time we went to bed saying Matt Nagy was fired. That's how the reality of things should have been.
No, you're absolutely right. But that's not how they operate. And what did I say in my rant last week? Where does this start? Where does it start and it ends?
All the way at the top.
It starts and ends with the family.
Yep. Said they know nothing about football.
And now all of a sudden I'm seeing on social media everybody saying, now you blame the McCaskies. Where have you been?
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been? It's not going to change. It's not going to change until they figure some shit out. That's where we're at. And I said it last week. I said it yesterday at the bowling alley. People want to get mad at me. Fine, whatever. Eventually, Soldier Field will turn in Wrigley by the Lake because people don't want to go there to see the on-field product. They just want to go there and tailgate.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Because it's a place to be, unless they figure some stuff out. If this was a competent organization, Matt Nagy would have been fired, just like you said, Tony. What time the game was over? 3:30 on Sunday. Matt Nagy should have been fired 7:30 Sunday night.
Before Sunday Night Football started.
Yep, that should have been done. That should have been done. Ryan Pace should have made that call if he wants to save his job, at least for this year. Because personally, what I would do if I was owning the Bears, Matt Nagy would be gone. I'll hire an interim head coach, maybe do John DeFilippo as the interim head coach, let Bill Lazor call plays until the end of the year. That I would hire some vice president of football operations to oversee everything, to find out what the hell is going on, and then I'll let that guy determine if Ryan Pace stays. And if he determines that Ryan Pace has done a good job in terms of his draft picks and cap and whatever, he can stay, but he doesn't have full football power. And if he doesn't agree to that, then he's gone. But you need a football bigwig. You need somebody who knows football. But I have
Does it make me a bad fan? Sorry, does it make me a bad fan that I kind of want this shit to just crash and burn right now? Like, I hope Detroit kicks their ass, kind of. There's a part of me, I don't know if that makes me a bad fan, but if they lose to Detroit this week, man,
I think
for the fans, it's because look at their schedule. Now, this isn't me because I'm a Raider fan. It's not that. Do you feel confident with them going up against the Raiders right now? I don't.
No,
they could beat the Raiders, but I don't feel that. But then they have Green Bay the week after that.
Right, and then it's the bye week.
I mean,
like they can easily. I think it's the bye week after that. They can easily be 1-5 when all said and done.
If that's the case, I mean, I know it's the same question over and over and same answer, but that bye week, maybe you give DeFilippo that 2 weeks to, I agree with what you're saying. Give him 2 weeks to come up with a game plan. Nagy, you got to go. Nice guy. He seems like a cool dude, but he's not a head football coach.
Maybe that cool dude persona, it's a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe that's what it is. I mean, my issues with him, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Let's say he does get fired. You know where he's going back to. He's going back to Daddy. He's going back to Andy Reid. That's where he'll go.
That's if Andy Reid will take him. Shit.
Andy Reid will take him back. Andy Reid will take him back. But It has to change. It truly has to change.
Okay.
You know, and it won't change until Bears fans, and some of them have, until you get the majority of Bears fans not spending $12,000 a year on their season tickets, buying gear. Um, you know, when they see TV ratings in the market plummet, it won't change until you see those. Because right now,
And this is with a guy that's more popular than Michael Jordan, right?
that's correct.
I had to. Okay, it's over. I'm done.
But
Continue.
Go over.
Right.
All right. See you guys. Yeah.
Closing credits. But until that happens, I mean, the McCaskies are looking at the bottom line. I was like, business is good. Why should we care?
Maybe that proves your theory right.
It does prove. Yeah, I mean, they don't. I'm sure Virginia cares. I'm pretty sure she does, and I'm pretty sure George cares too. But George doesn't know shit about football. George doesn't have the context to talk to people to find out what's really going on with the organization or what's going on within the league. And I'll ask this question before, and I'll ask again. Um, do you have confidence in this ownership? Do you have the faith that they would, make these personnel decisions? This, in theory, they should have been fired last year, Pace and Nagy. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna stay. At least Nagy, basically saying that we like how he kept the team together with all the collaboration that we did during the season. It'll be another BS.
Is this a lower point than the Mark Trestman? Any point of the Mark Trestman era? In your opinion?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at least with Trestman, that defense was horrible. The offense was decent. This is just bad. This is embarrassing. This is probably as worse when they got blown out by 50 in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, I remember the Patriots and Packers.
And the Packers. Primetime game.
And that was a bye week, too, in between, right? Wasn't there a bye week in between?
I think
it was leading into
the Patriot game. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say, really.
I mean, that there's really, I don't know. I mean, this is the first time I've ever been kind of speechless in terms of, being a Bear fan, but this is horrible. You brought in an offensive guru, and this offense has got progressively worse every single year.
The part I don't like about it is when you hear him talk, too. Like, I don't mean to bring up the Raiders again, but it's like you listen to Matt Nagy's press conference, and I always listen to Nagy, and I listen to John Gruden's. And, like, if you listen to Nagy's, like, you'd think, like, the Bears won. Like, everything's positive and shit. Yeah, like, that I can't stand. You listen to John Gruden, the Raiders are 3-0 in every press conference. All he talks about, he goes, yeah, we played a good game. A lot of stuff we have to fix. We got to get better. We didn't do good today on this. We didn't do good today on this. I mean, I used to say about Gruden. You can say what you want about Gruden, and it's right.
That works if you're coaching 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, or high schoolers.
Right.
That doesn't fly in the NFL.
Yeah, I just the over the top positivity every fucking week when you're watching this whatever bullshit on the field. I mean, it's they talk to us like we're idiots. I mean, we're seeing the same shit everybody's seeing. I mean, it's horrible.
And that's why there's a possibility that he'll stay.
Ugh.
That's why there's that possibility. look, with the McCaskies, you never know. As long as the business of football is good, they're fine. But until they start affecting that bottom line, there won't be change. I might pose a poll that says who's been worse, Nagy and Pace or Garpax?
Yeah, that's tough.
That's close. Well, let's do a little Week 4 preview. Hitman, what do you think? A little score prediction.
I don't know. Is Justin Fields playing? Number one. I mean, who's calling plays?
You sound so depressed.
I'm being honest. I mean, Tony, you asked me like
it felt like a legitimate question, but
no, it was a legitimate question. I'm giving you an answer. I'm like, shit, I don't know. Shit, I might pick Detroit 500-6. I don't know.
Hitman's hawking up.
That reaction was just like Tony asked Hitman, like, Hitman, your dog just died. Yeah. That's how you responded to it.
I mean, let's be real about this. Detroit is coming off a game where the guy kicked a 66-yard field goal to beat them, right? And then you got the Bears team who just got their asses handed to them by the Browns. You know the funny thing is about that game with the Browns? The Bears defense didn't play half bad.
No, they played decent.
We're not even talking about the Bears defense. A team that had 5 sacks.
All that Brown scoring came at the end of the game. I think it was because the defense was gassed.
Yeah.
They couldn't get off the damn field.
But, I mean, look.
What do you think the score is?
2-0. No, I mean, seriously. Look, Matt Nagy has a good record, a good record against the Lions. Bears 13-10. But I'm not going to be a fan that wants. Look, I want my team to win every week. But if they somehow lose this week, as a fan, I will demand change.
Nice. Go out and protest.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have season tickets, but I can at least be that guy that posts stuff on the Bears social media website and say, hey, you guys suck.
Throw pebbles at the windows.
Yeah, I'll drive the lake. Let me stop that because they might look for me and then I'll be in jail.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We're going to see the FBI break down that fucking door behind you.
We're going to see Hitman on the news in a high-speed chase down Lakeshore Drive.
Fuck you, man, Nagy!
All right, Scott, what's your
You didn't ask me on my... Oh, okay. You want to hear this? I'm serious. This is so bad, the Bears right now. I think this week it fucking... If it already hasn't fallen off the rails, I think it does this week. I'm going... No joke. Well, yeah. 24-6, Detroit. 24. It's all fucked. It's all over.
I hit 24-3, Detroit.
It's all over. Yep. Now, in reality, I think the Bears' defense is good enough to win this game, and I think that's probably going to be the case. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just hope it doesn't Matt Nagy. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it isn't that bad. He won this week.
I don't think that's the case anymore. You see how he's getting killed nationally. You see how he's getting killed locally.
Yep.
Finally, nationally. Finally.
Matt Nagy's not that guy anymore. He's not the darling anymore. People have caught up.
He's not the clever coach anymore.
Right.
I'm telling you though, can you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, I can see this thing just like I don't think that's actually going to happen. I shouldn't say that's my actual prediction, but I don't know. Just I got a bad feeling about this team, man. Like we think we're at rock bottom right now, and maybe we're not even. It could get so much worse.
No, I don't. I mean, the only thing I could think that could get worse is if the defense gives up 600 yards on Sunday. I don't see that happening, but
no,
they sure as hell. I think this week against the Lions could pass for more than 1 yard. I mean, just think about that for a second. 1 yard, 1 yard. That's literally you getting the snap and just you said it yesterday. Just shot put it to somebody.
Yeah, I feel like I could go and fucking.
That's in essence what happened. Really, seriously.
Yeah.
Scott, you say it probably won't happen. I think it is going to happen. I think it's. I
don't know, man. It's just, I got this bad feeling about it. I do. Like everybody's like, oh, okay, the Lions. Well, like Hitman said, they almost beat Lamar Jackson last week.
Well,
so
the Lions are 0-3, but they're no pushover team.
No,
they have Jared Goff throwing the ball. I mean, he's not great, but they have DeAndre Swift. He's starting to turn it up. Hawkinson, he's one of the better tight ends in the league. The receiving core is kind of weak. They almost beat Baltimore, so that defense, it has to say something about the defense. You know?
I just don't know. Yeah, it's depends on the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, who are the Bears gonna?
Here, let me say this: if Justin Fields starts and Bill Lazor's calling plays, the Bears will win. But if Justin Fields starts and Matt Nagy's still calling plays, the Bears will lose. You know what the fucked up thing about this is? Let's say the Bears go 3-14. They don't have a first-round draft pick because I went in Justin Fields trade. So you can't say, hey, let's go ahead and tank. Can't tank because you don't have a draft pick.
Yeah. Well, they can tank for the 34th pick in the draft.
What, the 31st? What, the second pick in the
well, yeah, because I don't think they're going to be. I don't. They won't be New York bad, but I don't think New York teams will win 3 games combined the way they look.
No.
I don't know. It's sad, man. It's just this is. I don't usually say it, but it's like Bears fans don't deserve this.
No.
I usually don't feel that way about. Yeah.
You know what's funny is that I got not made fun of, but I was, Bobby, our buddy Bowling, said that this is a White Sox town. I'm like, if you go on social media and you see there wasn't this much vitriol in terms of when the White Sox hired Tony La Russa as opposed to what happened Sunday with the Bears.
No, not even close.
Not even close.
Mm.
This hurts Bears fans. This truly hurts. I never saw this level of anger, even when the White Sox was truly bad. Or hell, when the Cubs was truly bad. But you look on social media, Facebook, whatever, and dude, this hit the city at its core.
And it's starting to say too that every team now, every other professional sport, like they've had a competent run, in recent memory. The Bulls are doing their thing now, with the new front office. The White Sox are doing their thing now. The Cubs just had their run with the World Series. The Hawks, obviously, and like the Bears, just nothing.
But that's the thing with the McCaskies.
Right.
There's no sustained success. They're like, okay, maybe once in a while we'll win a division. Maybe once in a while we'll make the playoffs. Maybe we'll get a Super Bowl and lose. But there's no sustained success. And as Bears fans should demand that from ownership on down. If we're going to shell out well, not me personally, but Bears fans are going to shell out $12 grand for season tickets. I better see one hell of a product.
Well, that's the thing, though. They don't care. The people still pay it.
Sure,
you know.
and that's why
Unfortunately,
that's why nothing will change.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's tough, man. This is
Ed.
I don't know. Sunday's going to tell us a lot, I think.
Yep.
Oh, I already
I'm
said.
not looking forward to it.
If Nick Foles starts, I'm not watching the game. I'll tell you that right now.
It does no good, and I don't know. Justin Fields on the sideline, it does him no good. I don't know the right answer because I don't want him out there running that offense with Nagy, whatever the fuck that was last week. Do you want him out there again?
He's not learning anything on the sideline or on the field.
No, he's learning how to pick himself up.
Yeah, he's learned how to fucking run for his life.
Right. He's learning how to pick himself up.
No, but then we're going to hear how great a practice they had all week and how confident he was and blah, blah from Nagy and all that bullshit.
How much the team cares. I listened
to the Bears are undefeated in fucking on Monday through Saturday. Yep. They're undefeated, but
here, let me say this. Tony, you brought up an interesting comment. I think the players care.
I was saying when they played the man when he said that.
Right. But
we already got guys like Jimmy Graham coming out. You saw what Jimmy Graham did with his tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's got a voice in that locker room.
Yeah, the players care. They just want to be put in the best possible position to succeed.
Yep.
And right now, they have an offensive a head coach / offensive coordinator who's not doing that. And until somebody basically punched Matt Nagy in the throat and say, hey, you're not calling plays anymore, this is what's going to happen. Ryan Pace is 6'3", 250. You mean to tell me that dude can't go in there and be like, hey, you're not calling plays? You're not calling plays anymore. Former football player. You mean to tell me he can't go in there and kind of be like, dude, no, this shit ain't working.
Well, him too. He's always he's never anywhere to be found, and every time you talk to him, he just gives you the cliched bullshit that all these, front office people give. Remember, these are the guys last year that were they loved the resiliency of the 6-game losing streak last year. They loved the resiliency that they overcame that.
And that's because there's nobody above him to hold him accountable. That's why I want to see. That's why I want to see a vice president of football operations over him. Because within every with every sports team in this town, you have that. You have a general manager, but you also have a guy that's over him to have some sense of accountability. You don't have that with the Bears.
Well, I just don't know if it's me overreacting, but it's I want just go the opposite way. I don't know who's available, but I want a red ass for a coach. Not a dude like Ditka, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Somebody's going to get on their ass when they fuck up,
Someone
I don't know. I don't. What's Jim Harbaugh doing? Is he still coaching Michigan? Bring his ass over here.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, well, here's the thing with Harbaugh. I don't want Harbaugh calling plays.
Right. I don't know. I'm not saying Harbaugh in general. I'm just saying somebody that's animated, somebody that'll, shoot you straight, not every. Oh God.
No, I mean, I don't necessarily think you need to be a red ass. I just need somebody confident. Just give me somebody who's confident.
I'm on the way.
Who could bring it? Who could bring in a competent staff? And that's who can play big boy. Well, new era football. Can't say big boy football.
Well,
big boy football means you're running.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel bad for Justin Fields. It's just, I'll say it again. It's I don't know. I don't know what he's getting out of this. I don't know. Maybe he's learning something. Maybe Nagy does shine in practices, and he's, I don't know.
Great.
He's learning how to take a hit. Look. Justin Fields' best move was when the referee went down and picked him up, and he got up with the referee's help. That was his best move on Sunday. Because outside of that, there was nothing. I can't judge him on Sunday. Can't.
We've heard the national stuff that it was like that Nagy's play calling was so what's the word?
Like unintentional, intentional?
Yeah. Like like if you were going to sabotage something, that's what it would look like.
Right.
I don't believe that's the case, but I mean,
no.
But fuck, I don't know.
You know what that game plan reminded me of? And Tony, I know we got to go.
Yeah.
You guys remember that Sunday night game with the Bears against the Giants where Cutler got sacked 8 times before halftime? Mm-hmm. And he got knocked out.
He walked to the wrong sideline. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That's what this game reminded me of.
And Myles Garrett. It was like every other play. He was raping him.
Yeah.
I mean, like every time Justin Fields went back, down. And it was just I didn't watch the game live. I watched it once I got home, or from the bowling alley, and just hearing Thayer and Joniak on the call was just depressing.
Yeah, I heard some of that.
They were pretty sad.
The best, I text you guys with Jason Peters too, back to him when Myles Garrett's right here.
Yeah.
Clearly they're both on the end, but he double teams on the inside. Myles Garrett just all right, fuck you, and boom, he hits Justin Fields. I was like, what is he doing?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bad. I don't like Jason Peters. I said he's going to get Justin Fields killed.
No, here. I'll go one step further. It might not be just Jason Peters. Matt Nagy's going to get Justin Fields killed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
hopefully next week we're talking about a Bears win, but right now it's too depressing.
Yep. So, Scott, you got anything else?
No. How about we talk about what's in store for next week? Let's talk about something fun.
Yes, next week, White Sox playoff preview. So it's yes. So,
we don't know. Are we going to do a Tuesday show? Is that the plan, or because we might not even know if they're home or away, but we're pretty much sure they're going to play Houston, so we can still do a show.
Yeah. Well, let's see where it goes. Let's see what
right.
So.
Will they play a week from Thursday? I think is game 1. Right?
Yes.
I think I heard that right. I think they play Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday. I think.
Sweet.
So, yeah, we got to do a show before Thursday. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
We definitely will. Well,
and my brother said he's going to join us.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll get him in.
Over under. Well, no. Does Jimmy join us next week for White Sox talk?
I think he will.
Tony, does Jimmy join us?
I'll say yes. He seemed pretty enthused.
Scott, what do you think?
Scott, what do you think?
Bullshit. He's not going to come on here.
I got to work. I'm going to be at work.
If he comes on, I know he's busy. He's got the kids, and I know he's busy.
All right, guys. I guess I don't know. At least week 3's over.
When are you guys gonna do a wrestling show?
Hitman. You gotta watch.
I still gotta watch Raw and Extreme Rules. So
okay.
I was excited because I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I knew there was one. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some wrestling content, but no, you guys are slacking.
Yeah.
I haven't had time.
Yeah.
I've been too depressed over the Bears to watch wrestling.
All right,
that'll make you happy. Well, I'm done.
So, all right. Well, until next time. I guess.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.